The plan was simple: hunt, bring back food, and get home before the weather turned. But in the Arctic, even simple plans can take a sharp turn. When the Inuit encounter a polar bear while hunting, survival depends on more than just skill. It depends on staying one step ahead. I can see my breath in the cold air as I walk with the Inuit hunting group. The Arctic is quiet, but not like a quiet room. It's a mix of wind sounds and ice creaks that make me look around for what might be making noise. "Stop," the lead hunter says, holding up his hand. We all stop near some holes in the ice where seals come up to breathe. I watch him kneel down, his face getting serious. I step closer to see what he's looking at. There in the snow is a mark that makes me feel cold with fear. A paw print, a really big one. I was hoping for bunny tracks, not the footprint of a walking refrigerator with teeth. "Nanook," he says softly. I know this word means polar bear. I bend down next to him. The print is more than 10 inches wide with 5 toe marks. My boots look tiny next to it. I suddenly wish I'd packed bigger boots and faster legs. A full-grown male can weigh up to 1,500 pounds, heavier than all of us put together. That's basically a small car with an appetite and no driver's license. The hunter touches the snow inside the print. It feels loose under my glove. It hasn't frozen hard again yet. "Fresh," I whisper, and he nods with a serious look. Great timing on my part to join this hunting trip. Looking ahead, I see more prints making a path across the snow. The hunter points out that this bear was walking with purpose. Maybe it heard about an all-you-can-eat seal buffet. "Look here," the youngest hunter shows me the claw marks sticking out past the toe prints. These claws help bears hold onto ice and swim, or rip through seal skin easily. Those aren't claws, they're can openers for seal cans. "See there!" The lead hunter points to tiny paw prints going along the bear's path before turning away. "Arctic fox," he explains. "They follow the bear, eat what the bear doesn't finish." "That's living dangerously," I say, like following a big truck hoping it drops some food. The hunters smile, but still look worried. We have a choice: follow the tracks to find seals or go another way. Option 3, run back to the village screaming, seems strangely absent from the discussion. As we talk about what to do next, one of the sled dogs changes how it's standing. Its ears point forward, and it lifts its nose to smell the air. In seconds, all the dogs go from calm to alert. If dogs could talk, these ones would be saying, "Guys, we've got company, and it's not the pizza delivery." Something got their attention, and we all know what it might be. I'm still staring at those massive paw prints when I notice something change around me. It's the dogs. 1 second, they're just standing in their harnesses. The next, they're all on high alert. The lead dog, a big grey husky with one blue eye and one brown, suddenly raises his head and lets out a low growl that seems to start deep in his chest. My own chest tightens as the growl spreads through the team like a wave. First just 2 dogs, then 5, then all of them. The sound isn't especially loud, but it makes the tiny hairs on my neck stand straight up. This isn't their "I see a seal" bark or their "feed me" whine. This sound means danger. I've heard less worrying sounds in horror movies right before someone becomes dinner. I realise these sled dogs are basically furry alarm systems with teeth. The hunters don't see them as just transportation. They're early warning tools. I remember reading somewhere that dog noses are 40 times more sensitive than human ones. While I'm still squinting at nothing but snow, these animals know exactly what's coming and from which direction. "Quiet," the lead hunter whispers, cutting the air with his hand. The youngest hunter hurries to the sled, quickly checking all the harnesses and tightening them. If the dogs panic and bolt, or worse, charge at whatever they're sensing, we'd have a real mess on our hands. I freeze in place, barely breathing. The hunters scan the white landscape, their eyes moving in slow, careful sweeps. I try to do the same, but honestly, all I see is white, white, and more white. Finding a white bear in this feels like a really unfair game of hide and seek. It's like playing Where's Waldo if Waldo was invisible and wanted to eat you. A tap on my arm. The oldest hunter points slightly north with just his chin. I squint hard in that direction, not seeing anything at first. Then, a small movement. Something big and yellowish-white shifts against the horizon. My mouth opens, but the sound gets stuck in my throat. Just out there, standing about 300 yards away, is a polar bear. Its huge head is raised, testing the air. I've seen nature documentaries, but they don't prepare you for the real thing. This animal is massive, even from this distance. If it stood on its back legs, it would tower 10 feet tall. My brain keeps repeating, "Nice bear, good bear, please don't eat me, bear." The polar bear takes another slow step toward us. No sound, just the crunch of snow under its heavy paw. The lead hunter, standing nearest to me, carefully reaches for his rifle. Every motion is smooth, controlled, no rush, no panic. 2 more hunters follow his lead, moving just as steadily. These aren't regular rifles. They're high-powered, built for big game, animals that don't go down with a single shot unless the bullet is placed perfectly. Polar bears can weigh over 1,000 pounds and keep moving even after being hit. That's why the Inuit rely on rifles strong enough to drop a bear if things go bad. A weak shot doesn't stop a polar bear, it just annoys it. And a mad bear is way worse than a hungry one. Meanwhile, my personal defense plan, panic and run, has a proven success rate of 0%, especially against the only land predator that sees humans as prey. The hunters hold their rifles steady but don't raise them to aim, not yet. What strikes me most is how calm their hands are. No shaking, no twitching, just steady fingers and eyes locked on the bear. If it were me holding that rifle, the barrel would be shaking like a fishing rod with a shark on the line. No one wants to shoot a polar bear. They're sacred to the Inuit and protected by law. Killing one isn't just a legal issue, it's a cultural one. If someone pulls that trigger, there'll be a ton of questions, paperwork and grief. That's assuming we survive long enough to do the paperwork. The bear is now around 250 yards away. It's standing upright on all fours, tall and silent. Its black nose lifts to sniff the cold air. Polar bears have the best sense of smell on land. They can smell a seal from miles away. Us, we're way easier to find, especially since we're all sweating fear like it's cologne. "Don't move," the lead hunter whispers. His voice is low but firm. "If the bear charges, get behind the dogs." The youngest hunter crouches by the sled and tightens the dogs' harnesses. If the dogs break free, they might do something brave and stupid, like charge the bear, or something just stupid, like run back toward us and bring it with them. The bear continues to stare. It can see us, smell us, probably hear our hearts racing. Adult polar bears have 42 teeth, and the canines alone are longer than most car keys. Their bite is strong enough to crack a seal's skull like it's an eggshell. My own skull. It probably wouldn't hold up any better, no matter how thick-headed people say I am. The hunters widen their stance and spread out a little. It's a subtle move meant to make our group look bigger, more threatening. We're trying to convince the bear that attacking us would be a very bad idea. Then the bear takes a few more steps. It's closer now, about 200 yards away. It pauses, eyes locked on us, not rushing, not scared, just measuring. The lead hunter slowly brings his rifle up to his shoulder, not aiming at the bear, just showing it that we're ready. It's a message, plain and simple. Come closer, and we'll defend ourselves. The bear seems to understand. It stops again. No one moves, no one even blinks. For almost a full minute, everything freezes. The bear watches, we watch back. The wind shifts again, carrying our scent even stronger now. The bear lifts its head, nostrils flaring, catching every detail about us in the air. Then it makes a decision. We can all feel it. Everyone tenses at once, not panicked, just ready. Ready for whatever happens next. Even breathing feels dangerous now. The polar bear has stopped about 200 yards away, its dark eyes locked onto us like it's solving a puzzle. No one moves. Not the hunters, who have their rifles halfway raised but steady. Not the dogs, who somehow know that staying frozen is the smartest thing they can do. And absolutely not me. I'm standing so still. I can feel my own heartbeat shaking through my arms. The oldest hunter once told me a story about a man who ran from a polar bear. The bear wasn't chasing him at first. It was just watching. But the moment that man turned and bolted, the bear's hunting instincts kicked in. Let's just say he didn't make it back with any stories of his own. Right now, every part of me wants to run. My legs are screaming at me to move. If I had a control panel on my chest, the big red button that says "Run away screaming" would be glowing and buzzing. But thankfully, the common sense override switch still works. Barely. I'm taking in the smallest breaths possible, just enough to stay upright. Polar bears can hear seals moving under 3 feet of ice and snow. That's right, 3 feet. My heavy breathing would probably sound like I'm using a megaphone to them. One wheeze and I'd be dinner with a side of regret. 2 full minutes pass, maybe more. It feels like someone paused time. The bear hasn't moved closer, but it also hasn't backed off. It's still watching, judging. Polar bears are smart, smarter than any other bear species. Some say they're even clever enough to cover their black noses with their paws when stalking prey. Whether that's true or not, I know for sure that this one is thinking hard. The bear lowers its massive head a little and sniffs the snow, but those eyes never stop watching us. Then the wind changes direction, gently pushing our scent right into the bear's face. Its head lifts, nostrils flare. It now knows exactly what we are and where we are. Here's something strange most people don't know. Polar bears have black skin under all that thick fur. And the fur, it's not actually white. It's see-through and hollow. It just reflects the snow and light, making it look white. Basically, the bear is wearing a fancy winter costume that makes it invisible in this landscape. I'm just here in my bright blue parka, glowing like a human warning sign. If polar bears could read, mine would say, "Lunch special." The bear shifts one step to the side, slow and silent. It starts to circle slightly. The hunters don't move fast, but they quietly shift their feet and shoulders, adjusting so they're still facing the animal. It's like a slow-motion dance with rifles as the only music. Then something changes. The bear makes a decision. 2 steps forward, then a pause. That pause feels like it holds the weight of the world. The hunters raise their rifles just a little more, still not aiming to kill. Yet, I can feel the blood pounding in my neck, like a drum that won't stop. These next few seconds are everything. Heart pounding in my chest, I watch as the polar bear takes another step closer. Without warning, the lead hunter reaches into his bag and pulls out a chunk of seal meat from yesterday's hunt. The bear's head snaps up, nose twitching with interest. Seals are a polar bear's favourite food. A single bear can eat up to 100 pounds of seal meat and blubber in one sitting. If humans ate that much in one meal, we'd need to be rolled away from the table like blueberries in that Willy Wonka movie. The hunter tosses the meat halfway between us and the bear. For a moment, no one moves. The bear stares at the meat, then at us, then back at the meat. "Old Inuit trick," the youngest hunter whispers. "Bear gets food, we keep breathing." Polar bears are opportunistic feeders. They'll take an easy meal over a risky hunt. They need to eat about 45 seals a year just to survive. Slowly, the bear approaches the meat. It keeps its eyes on us the whole time. The hunters remain still, rifles ready but not aimed. The bear sniffs the meat carefully. I've never rooted so hard for someone to enjoy their food. 5-star Yelp reviews couldn't be more important than this bear liking its snack enough to leave us alone. The bear picks up the meat and steps back. It doesn't turn its back on us, but watches while eating. "Good," the lead hunter murmurs. After finishing, the bear licks the snow where blood has spilled. Then it backs up a few steps, still watching us but with less intensity. The lead hunter nods to the others. Slowly, one reaches into his bag and pulls out some fatty blubber. He tosses it in a different direction, farther away. The bear looks at it, then back at us, then at the blubber again. It moves toward the second piece, circling around us at a safer distance. As the bear finishes the blubber, it lifts its head, looking around. It takes a few steps away, then turns and stares again. The oldest hunter reaches for his bag, ready with another distraction. The bear watches this movement with renewed interest. The bear finishes the second piece of food, but instead of leaving, it starts moving toward us again. The distraction worked for a while, but now the bear seems more curious than before. "Not good," the lead hunter whispers. "It's coming back." The bear is now about 150 yards away and moving steadily in our direction. Throwing more food might just encourage it to keep coming closer, expecting more treats. This polar bear might have decided that we're a source of food rather than a threat. Wild animals that associate humans with food become dangerous very quickly. My internal survival guide has officially run out of pages. The chapter on what to do when a polar bear decides you're its next meal was apparently never written. The lead hunter slowly raises his rifle to his shoulder. This time he points the barrel upward at about a 45-degree angle. "Warning shot," he explains quietly. Loud noise sometimes scares them. Polar bears have excellent hearing. In the quiet Arctic, the crack of a rifle can be heard for up to 2 miles away. The bear moves another few yards closer. The lead hunter takes a deep breath. His finger moves to the trigger. No one else moves a muscle. Then, the hunter squeezes the trigger. The rifle's report is shockingly loud in the Arctic silence. My heart jumps so high I swear it tried to escape through my mouth. The bullet flies harmlessly into the sky, but the sound echoes across the ice. The bear stops instantly, ears flattening against its head. Then it rises up on its hind legs, standing nearly 10 feet tall, looking around for the threat. A standing polar bear is an impressive sight. From this position, it can see farther and smell better, trying to locate the source of danger. The bear drops back to all fours but doesn't run away. It paces back and forth, clearly agitated by the loud noise but not sure what to do. "Be ready," the lead hunter says quietly. "If it comes again, I shoot to stop." The bear stops pacing and stares at us again. Will the warning shot be enough to drive it away, or will it decide we're worth investigating despite the noise? A heavy silence falls over the ice. Our fate rests entirely on what this wild predator decides to do. The warning shot works. After staring at us for what feels like forever, the polar bear drops to all fours and slowly turns away. It takes a few steps, stops to look back once more, then continues walking across the ice. With each step, the magnificent predator moves farther from us until it's just a small yellowish-white dot against the endless white horizon. None of us moves until the bear is at least 500 yards away. Only then does the lead hunter lower his rifle and we all breathe normally again. My legs feel like jelly and I realize I'm shaking. Not from the cold, though it's well below freezing, but from the adrenaline that's been flooding my system for the past 20 minutes. "Bear decided we are in too much trouble," the oldest hunter says with a slight smile. "Good day to you. See Nanook, but keep all arms and legs." I check just to make sure he's right. Yep, all limbs present and accounted for, though they're shaking like I'm auditioning for a dancing competition. The hunters quickly check the dogs and equipment. During bear encounters, equipment can get damaged or dogs injured, but everything looks intact, except perhaps my courage, which might take a while to recover. According to Inuit tradition, the bear chose to spare us, not the other way around. Many believe polar bears can understand human speech and read minds. After what I just saw, I'm not going to argue with that idea. The lead hunter speaks quietly to the others, and I catch enough words to understand the plan. We won't continue hunting in this area today. When a polar bear claims territory, smart people go elsewhere. The group will move about 5 miles east to another set of seal breathing holes, where we might have better luck without four-legged competition. Inuit hunters have perfected the art of reading ice and snow conditions. They know which areas are likely to attract seals, and by extension where bears might hunt. This knowledge, passed down through generations, helps them avoid dangerous encounters while still finding food for their communities. We prepare to leave, moving efficiently but without rushing. Sudden movements might still catch the bear's attention, even at this distance. Polar bears can easily outrun humans on ice. Their wide paws spread their weight and stop them from breaking through thin spots. Nature's original snowshoes designed for the ultimate Arctic predator. Before leaving, the hunters pause for a moment of respect, facing the direction the bear went. No words are spoken, but the gesture acknowledges the shared history between Inuit people and polar bears. a relationship of mutual respect that has evolved over thousands of years in this harsh environment. As we travel to the new hunting spot, I ask the lead hunter how often they encounter bears. Sometimes we see many, sometimes none for months, he explains. Bears are going hungry more now. Ice melts sooner, comes later. Hard for bears to hunt seals. He's referring to the changing Arctic climate, which is affecting hunting patterns for both bears and people. Back at the village that evening, our story is told over steaming cups of tea. The elders nod knowingly, adding their own tales of polar bear encounters from decades past. One elderly man showed me a scar on his arm from a close call 50 years ago. Such encounters have happened for thousands of years in the Arctic, part of the rhythm of life in this extreme environment. I look out at the darkening Arctic evening, thinking about how differently our day could have ended. The hunters are already planning tomorrow's expedition. We will hunt again, but perhaps in a different direction. The land is vast, and there's room for both humans and bears, as long as we respect each other's territory and power.